Hey, this is Kevin Landrigan at NashuaTelegraph.com. Great to be back with you. Think we got enough snow? What do you think? I wanted to talk about a pretty big signature issue. That's expanding Medicaid. As we know, the Senate Republicans and Democrats have come up with a compromise. And the real moral of this story is Senate President Chuck Norris knows how to drive a hard bargain. He got much of what he wanted out of this deal. I think Governor Maggie Hassan made the smart political move, signing on board. It's the only thing she would get. But what did Senator Norris get? Well, he insisted on private insurance covering all these people in this expanded Medicaid population. He got it. He insisted on a sunset that would require a future legislature to reauthorize this program within 3 years or it goes away. He got it. He wanted a guarantee that the program ends the day that federal support for the expansion drops below 100%. He got it. Even though, as we know, the Affordable Care Act says that after 3 years, states' reimbursement drops from 100%. And it drops every year down to about 90% starting in 2020. We'd be out of the program completely if it ever got down to that level under this proposal. What did he give up? Well, the thing he gave up was the requirement that first the Obama administration had to say yes. What Governor Hassan got, which is significant, is that this program will start on a volunteer basis as early as July 1st, where people who don't have access to health insurance at the employer, these folks are low income, up to 138% of federal poverty. That's $16,000 a person per year. That's very low income. They'd purchase insurance on the Obamacare exchange. And as we know, there's only one insurance plan there right now. But it really tries to make it attractive for managed care companies, the 3 private companies that are now managing the care for everybody who's now on Medicaid, to get into this program. So as I said, Chuck Norris, not a bad poker player in this one. You know, we often talk about the power of lobbyists and legislative leaders and what power they wield. I think we're seeing the power of one person, and that person is Becky Raines of Amherst. What a story she is. She lost her son, who was killed by her estranged husband at the Manchester YWCA last August. She didn't just go home and feel sorry for herself, and who would blame her if she did? She's thrown herself headlong into this effort to create a domestic violence law. We're one of only 15 states in the country that doesn't define domestic violence as a separate crime. What does that mean? It means that if I'm in a bar and I punch somebody out and I'm charged with assault, and then I go home and I punch my wife out, I'm still charged with assault. It's considered the same crime. It's not even classified as a different crime. Becky Raines has joined with the New Hampshire Commission Against Domestic and Sexual Violence and Manchester Democrat Donna Soucy for this legislation. It's going to be called Joshua's Law. Governor Hassan's been inspired by the activism of Becky Raines. She highlighted in her State of the State speech a week ago. She saw her in the hallway, gave her a big hug. I think New Hampshire should give her a hug as well. It's to show the power of one person and how activism can create something really decent and good for humanity out of something that's happened that was awful to one of us. This is Kevin Landrigan at NashuaTelegraph.com. You know, in politics, the smart people decide that it's better to get half a loaf than to get no loaf at all. This year could have been the year that decriminalization of marijuana could become law. It's clear legalization is not going to happen. Even if it passes the House of Representatives on a final vote, it's dead in the Senate, and Governor Maggie Hassan has said she'd veto it. But decriminalization, eliminating possession of small amounts of marijuana as a crime and instead a violation and a fine, has passed the New Hampshire House 4 times before since 2007. under Democratic control and Republican control. A very narrow decriminalization bill. Governor Maggie Hassan probably wouldn't support it, but she might not veto it. That's not what we have. The Marijuana Policy Project and people who support this bill are asking for too much. And as a result, they're not going to get anything at all. Their decriminalization bill would be for an ounce of marijuana, be a fine of no more than $100. Past bills that have passed have been for half an ounce. One bill, even a quarter of an ounce. This also includes hashish, which people who follow the marijuana debate tell me hashish has much higher content and potency of THC than does marijuana. This bill goes beyond that. It basically reduces criminal penalties for selling as much as 5 pounds of marijuana from a 20-year prison sentence to a 7-year prison sentence, also dramatically reducing the criminal penalties for cultivating up to 6 mature pot plants that someone in a minor kind of marijuana selling business might have up to 6 plants. Someone may use that for all their personal consumption, but not necessarily. My point is this: if you wanted a narrow decriminalization bill, that's what you should have put forward. That's not what we have here. And as a result, even if it passes the House, it's dead on arrival in the Senate. This is Kevin Landry at NashuaTelegraph.com. Thanks for watching.